Hi, I'm Debbie Nigro, Chief Executive Girlfriend, FirstWivesWorld.com. Today we're going to talk with Susan Reach Winters about a very important topic that doesn't get enough attention, step-parents. Do step-parents have any legal rights? Going to find out right now. Welcome again.
Thank you so much for
You're
having
a
me.
fabulous guest. I'm so happy you came back. I love all that you know, and you always hit it on the mark when we need information. So first let's talk about the number of step-parents in the country. Has the number gone up? Is it a giant population that no one's really acknowledging?
Well, with the rising rate of divorce in the United States, it turns out that these days over 1/3 of Americans live in step families.
So there's a whole changing role thing going on too, and you have to sort of understand what your role is and what you can and can't do legally. So let's address that. The legal rights of step-parents. Responsibility but no authority.
Legal strangers is really what you are when you are step parents, because you do have all the responsibilities of taking care of a child, supporting a child emotionally, financially, etc., but you have no legal rights.
So what are some of the things that step-parents cannot legally do?
Well, for example, a stepmom can take off for a month to take care of a sick stepchild under a federal law. But if that child needed to go to the emergency room, she couldn't sign a consent for treatment. Similarly, in school situations, you can't sign permission forms for school. You can't talk to teachers legally.
Can you get report cards?
No.
Oh.
You are a
No
legal
side deals.
stranger. No side deals.
Let's talk about back to the medical thing. Very important then, a step-parent has some sort of form, at least on file, that says they can do that. How do they do that?
That would be ideal, but then you're dealing with the biological mom, for example, who doesn't want to give that kind of consent to the stepmom. And there's
In case of
where you
emergency?
have- well, that's why it should be done, but often you've got issues between
All
the
right.
stepmother and the biological mom.
Listen to me, I didn't even want my daughter's stepmother cutting her hair without my permission. I'm saying, yeah, sure, go to the emergency room without me, no problem. Yeah, it's
Exactly the
a
problem.
lot of touchy emotions between, who is, it's your child, and yet you should be very thrilled that somebody cares enough about your child to want to do the right thing and act in your best interest. But there's some things that you have to sort of learn to do better. What about step-parents and divorces, okay? Do they have any rights to continue to see the stepchild after that?
Well, that's the biggest challenge facing the courts today, because if there is a divorce, the step-parent really has no legal right to custody or any kind of time sharing or visitation. And in many situations, as you know, you have a child who doesn't even know his biological parent because the step-parent has really been the mom or the dad since they were very little children.
This is family, and all of a sudden, because the deal has changed and you weren't officially blood related, you're no longer a part of the family or have no rights to see the person. It's very awkward.
Exactly
very
the
weird.
problem. And what the courts are looking at now is really very closely at whether a bond was formed between the parent, the step-parent, and the child to make a determination as to whether that step-parent should have those legal rights to time
That's a
sharing
hard
or
test to give.
visitation. It's very hard, but a lot of it has to do with the one-on-one relationship that has developed over time. If you've lived with a child for a year and then there's a divorce, chances are that bond hasn't formed. But a long time,
You'd be surprised.
and it could.
It's very hurtful,
But that's
yeah.
why it's got to be looked at on a fact-by-fact basis, a parent-child one-on-one, case-by-case basis.
Now, what happens when a spouse dies? Do the kids stay with the step-parent?
Typically, no.
No.
The biological parent, even if the biological parent has been completely out of the picture, physically, financially, in
Long
all
gone.
ways, exactly, the biological parent is still going to have more of a legal right to that child. And the step-parent is going to have to prove that that step-parent has become the psychological parent, the de facto parent, in order to gain any headway in the court.
What if the step-parent dies and there's an inheritance involved? Do the children get any of the inheritance?
Believe it or not, no.
No.
A stepchild does not have any right to inherit from a step-parent through the intestacy laws. And that means, however, if a step-parent leaves a stepchild property, assets, money, whatever, in a will, and
Right.
specifically says that child's name, not to my children, because if the will says to my children, the stepchild will be eliminated.
So you got to wake up your stepfather or stepmother every day. Hi, it's Mikey. Don't forget it's Mikey. Mikey in the
Make
will.
sure
Mikey
you
in the
spell my
will.
name
Mikey in the will.
right.
And where's the future going in step-parent rights? Is this a big area of law?
It's a big area of law, and the rights are ever increasing because what you have now is a lot of same-sex couples who are adopting children, lesbian couples who are actually having a child. You know, one of the moms is actually the biological mom. But then, of course, you run into situations where there is a divorce of sorts between the same-sex couple because now there's domestic partnerships, civil unions,
whole new
legalized in a
area.
lot of states. Yeah.
Growing quickly. Okay, more about step-parents and their rights. And of course, Susan Reach Winters, our expert on this, at firstwivesworld.com. See you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.